What's going on, people? It's Garnett Boldin from the Soulfully, NeoSoul singer, man, from Richmond, Virginia. And you're watching the playlist right now. Falling, falling, falling for a love I don't know. Calling, 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 my heart's telling me so. If we don't put our all in, then we're stalling, no go. But we got this crazy bonding things in common. Whoa. So the song Patience is about pretty much a relationship that you get into, and it's definitely the beginning, and you're trying to figure out if it's lust, infatuation, or something real. And in the situations of what it's talk about in the pre-hook and the hook, far as taking your time. If we lose control, far as going deep in love, which is a great thing, but sometimes you can lose something that's great and just not thinking about something that could be developing for both of y'all in a deep relationship. So pretty much is just the consciousness of, yes, have a strong love for each other and the bond that you have, but make sure that you don't go too out of control so you can have something that's consistent and lasting. I wrote this song, Patience. It came off my album, Find the Message. I wrote it the album dropped July 22nd last year. And I probably wrote it like maybe the year before, if 2021, if I'm not mistaken. For me, it's moments in life, because I can't write what I tell people. I can only write real music, realism music that comes from my life. So that aspect was something I was going through at that situation and time in life, and it just inspired it from the perfect time of having the production. So once I got that production, it just, for me, it writes itself. And it's just how you put the words together in the story. When I wrote the song, I probably was at home. It was either at home or in the studio, because I write so many songs and stuff, especially this being my second album, and ideas or anything that you do musically. Is I guess, what I'm saying, more so where I wrote the song, but the place I was in my head to write the song. You know what I mean? So a lot of times that kind of leaves my mind where I wrote the song, but more so the place I was at that time in my mind, So the producer of Patience is actually Tim White. He's based out of North Carolina. Met him from doing my first album, Know Your Soul. It's been a relationship now that we've built now for almost 10 years, I would say now. And he did a lot of work on Find the Message, and Patience is one of the beats he produced. Make sure y'all check him out, because he does a lot of production for artists here in New York as well. I'm not scared or anxious about having other people in the studio or anything, but for me, when you're doing new projects, especially when I'm creating art far as a whole project and stuff like that, I kind of like to have it a little with just a couple people in the studio, people who's close knit to the project or to what I'm doing, to give some great feedback. So yeah. Oh, that was actually a friend of ours. She's a singer as well too. She works with Knots a lot of times too, that she's been doing through the years. But her name is Teresa Cook. Shout out to Teresa Cook for adding her voice on there. She just has that voice that just added a lot of flavor. It was the character in the song as well, which brought it out. So shout out to Teresa Cook. Y'all pass that along to her too. Yeah. Yes. First of all, my mother. My mother was a minister of music. Of course, most singers come from church background. I was Kojic, Church of God in Christ. My family, happened to be blessed, especially musically and, just spiritually anyway. My uncles were pastors and stuff. We were high up on the hierarchy. My mother was a state minister of music too. So she had all the churches in that district under her tutelage. So for me, I was always a prodigy anyway, especially with like drums and everything since I was like 3 years old. And since I was always around music, she just kept me around choirs that she would teach and everything. And I just caught on to it like that. And even though people would think she didn't actually force me to do this was actually my own will and everything like that, just from having the talent. But my mother, big, profound foundation for me. Hearing music, Soul Child, was definitely when I knew I wanted to do that genre of neo-soul, boom bap and stuff. John Legend, Bilal, and then to some of the modern people like Anderson .Paak, and who else was it? Ro James, people like that who just kept it going for me, like that kept me inspired with different songs. Erykah Badu for sure, because I did do a remake to her song, Didn't You Know? But those type of boom bap, hip hop mixed with soul and neo-soul is like the perfect blend combination for me, and it just inspired me to make the kind of music I make and write life music, not nothing that's just go by for the trend, you know. Oh, that's funny, because I mean, I was singing way before I started rapping. When I first did my first project, which I have two projects that never seen the light of day. Well, one did when I was 18. It was called Next Revolution Mixtape. I was like 17, 18. And I was rapping on it. This is the old school style of mixtapes of using everybody beat in the industry. And yeah, I did really well. That's where I honed my skills to rap. But at the core of me, it was always singing. Always the original me. You know what I mean? I just, you know, people you're around, you're growing up around at the time too, everybody rapping. And then I come from the old school thing of ciphers. And I was the beatbox man on the mouth and stuff like that too. So it was just coincided with learning how to rap as well because my friends did at the time. So once I got that and I gravitated to that and started really honing my skills on rapping and singing great as well and being able to do both of them great. Yeah, so I say I'm a singer first and then rapper after. Yeah. So for right now, I have the project that I'm promoting right now is Find the Message. I released last year in July, but it's still going crazy overseas and right now in New York as we sit right now doing this interview. So I would like y'all to take y'all time, go ahead and listen to the project all the way through, thoroughly through, because it actually does take you through a trip. And this project is more so in depth into my life. My first album, Know Your Soul, was, I had some things that I was writing on in my life, but I was really trying to go hardcore with getting neo-soul, soul music out there and the aspect of that and the songs and the craft of that. But this one, I was able to put my life into it and actually tell stories, create art from my pain and trauma that I had from back, you know, when I was growing up. And that's a hard thing to do, to create beauty from traumas that you've gone through. But if you take a deep dive, especially the beginning song, the first song has Denzel Washington on it. It's a speech I think he gave, a commencement speech at a college. And it was super dope, man, which promotes you to keep going with, like Father saying, find the message, like leaning forward, keep persisting on going towards your dream, even though it may not look like it's the best thing to do. It may not be the money maker or everything, but if it's a passion, it's something that's hardcore and instilled inside you and everything, you can't give that up, you know what I mean? So that was something that I put inside this album, or both albums, but Find the Message is the one we presenting right now. And I just go take a listen to it, I guarantee you, you know what I mean? Everywhere that you search it, and you can follow me everywhere at Garnett Boldin, that's GarnettBoldin on everything. And for Instagram, it's at Garnett Boldin Music, and just put this music is spelled the regular way, MUSIC. So make sure y'all go look me up, all the platforms, man, and go stream that album right now. I promise you won't be disappointed. Neo-soul, boom bap, let's go. Soul bap, that's what I call it. This is Garnett Boldin from Richmond, Virginia, soulfully yours. Make sure you add me to the playlist.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Said we should take our time. Protecting your heart, but really mine. We just lose control. Telling where love can really go. I can tell that you need that. Communicate, signal, get some feedback.